Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So another thing you could do is you're having a good time, say word. Word. Having a good time, say what's up. What's up? Having a good time, say hey. That will be relevant if you want to, just like, hey, I related to that. You can do that too. Okay? All right, here we go. If you hear my voice, clap once, clap twice, clap 3 times. I hate being Vietnamese. I really hate being Vietnamese because every Vietnamese dude in my neighborhood was trying to be that same cigarette smelling, hair slick back, white tee, baggy jean wearing gangster wannabe that had, the Asian stereotypical tattoo of like a dragon clashing with a phoenix or some sort of big ass koi fish or like a Chinese character on his shoulder that stood for like strength or honor. Homie, that's not even our language. I hated being Vietnamese because every Vietnamese dude had the same car. Either it was the Honda Civic, Honda Accord, Honda Prelude, Honda Hatchback, Honda something. Maybe like an Acura Integra, but that's still made by Honda. But whatever, I digress. The most important part is that your rice rocket was lowered on some 15-inch silver spidered plastic rims, and I hated how you had to drive up on speed bumps at an angle so you wouldn't have to scrape the body of your chassis, and I hated how everyone could talk about cars but me. Oh, you got that S300 intake manifold turbo. And I'm like, yeah, you know. No. I don't know what that is. I hated being Vietnamese because every Vietnamese dude had the same haircut. And they were all inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Either you had the Goku super spiky Super Saiyan hair, or the slick all the way back with the quarter-pound of gel with the golden Gohan bangs in the front, or the trunk split down the middle dude, or the bowl cut hair, or you just looked like Krillin and you were bald. But to be a true Vietnamese gangster, you had a Dragon Ball Z haircut. I hated being Vietnamese because every Vietnamese dude smelled like fish sauce or pho going to the club, and that's not a good look going to the club. I hated being Vietnamese because every Vietnamese man in my life either drank too much, smoked too much, gambled too much, abandoned me on my own too much, like my cousins, like my uncles, like their friends, like my own father. I hated being Vietnamese because every Vietnamese man in my life beat on the Vietnamese women that I love in my life, like my older sister, like my brother's girlfriends, like my own mom. I hated being Vietnamese because being Vietnamese meant I hated everybody else. I hated Hmong people, I hated Lao people, I hated Khmer people, I hated black people, Latino people, I hated other Vietnamese people, I hated everybody. We gang bang on ourselves, so maybe I'm just as Vietnamese as I hate to be, but yet I still hate being Vietnamese. Because everything that was told to be successful by television, society, and teachers was everything Vietnamese was not. So being a little boy, denying being Vietnamese was everything that was taught. I didn't speak Vietnamese, I didn't have Vietnamese friends, I hated being Vietnamese. I wrote off my identity like standardized test exams, not really understanding that everything about my history and my language is everything that I am. So I took a retest and saw that hating being Vietnamese was just hating myself. It's a self-hate, an internalized oppression. A language whispered by colonist oppressors told us to blanket our pride, never show our true strength. And this generation will simply be the successors of imperialized slaves. Because in this time, the game has changed. They told us to be colorblind, no history, no ethnicity, just American. But we choose to redefine. Because I don't know about you, but I am Southeast Asian. I am Southeast Asian, Vietnamese American, and I know I said I hated being Vietnamese. But at the time, I didn't know what it meant to be in a family of warriors and refugees. I didn't know why Americans helicopter dropped us in Section 8 housing and violence and poverty. I didn't know our broken education systems were at war and my brothers were just casualties. They dropped out of school, learned to gang rob, because no one ever taught them in English how to get a job. I have one message for my fellow Southeast Asian graduates. Be proud of who you are and remember where you came from. Remember that we share the narrative of a struggle, that we come from the descendants of generals, kings, dragons, and goddesses, and they say that we carry the history of our ancestors on our backs. So maybe that's why we bear dragon tattoos on our shoulders, so we can always remember who we are and stay on track. Maybe that's why we leave hints of old age fermented fish or the spicy salad stings of jungle-decorated papaya, or the beautiful concoctions of curry and coconut milk in Kaun. We leave legendary legacies off the simple utterance of our breath. Maybe that's why we drove Hondas, because those were the very engines that pushed fish boats across Southeast Asian seas into refugee camps. Maybe that's why we pretend to be thugs, because our parents were them original gangsters, them OGs. While we pretend to strap guns, they strap farm machetes and long knives with turfs called sun-beating rice plantations. Our mothers have that power to heal all, and the healing power was called Tiger Balm. For Vietnamese folks, we call it Yao Sun. My mom thought that cured everything, like headache, stomach ache, heartache, diarrhea, toe fungus, right? Our parents, they were Super Saiyans. They were the Supreme Kai. Shopping, donut shops, nail salons, they did anything for us to survive. They ascended past Super Saiyan 4 and 5 through freezes, global nation attacks that we call Cambodian genocides. Through Vegeta's hostile takeovers disguised as American assimilations, they were the Kamehameha fires that Ginyu forced out of graduations. Graduates, as you go onto your Goku journeys, in search of your 7 Dragon Balls, you will fulfill everything that our families have set out for us to do, as long as you remember, never ever hate who you are and embrace your legacy. We will finally be able to grant our families their one wish. Congratulations to the class of 2013.